what was actually announced then and refresh your mind.
Yeah.
Sorry about the technical glitch there. So, what was your general thoughts on the Xbox Showcase this year? General thought.
Again, like, back to my main point. I find it very difficult to give a shit about much of anything at the minute. I'm trying to
Okay.
remember what it was that gave me goosebumps. There was definitely one thing that gave me goosebumps, but I can't remember what it was.
Fable?
It might have just been Starfield.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays it's unless I get goosebumps, I tend not to give too much of a shit. Like it has to really make me feel something,
Fair enough.
Nowadays.
Well, if I have got a few opinions myself, Jay.
Please, because chances are I'll probably have similar ones. I feel like
So-
I also find it very difficult to form an opinion.
That's cool. That's cool. You don't always need to, right? I'm seeing a lot of the rhetoric, Jay, online. Is that rhetoric?
Hang on,
Rhetoric?
there's a word there. Rhetoric. There we go.
Rhetoric. Is that basically Xbox had a phenomenal showcase?
It was. I know Jeff Keighley, is that his name?
Yeah.
He put up a poll saying, what was the scale of the show, like A, B, C, F, that kind of
Right.
thing. And I think it was like majority said A, essentially. So
Okay.
I think a lot more people enjoyed it.
I'll be honest, Jay. I don't think that's A material.
No, I think it was, like I said, B plus, maybe.
Yes, I think it was a good to great
B.
showcase, and we've gotten quite a lot of those
yeah.
over the last few years from Xbox, in my humble opinion.
Mhm.
It hasn't been, as out there and phenomenal as PlayStation, of course, but I think they've delivered solid showcases over the years, and this was a solid showcase. But one thing I want to get across, Jay, is I think one of the reasons why a lot of people, maybe whoever's listening included, that you might think that Xbox had an amazing showcase is because you saw games which you knew about and had been announced and you'd been told they were being worked on and you'd never seen anything about them. I don't think seeing those games makes it an amazing showcase for one reason, really. It's best illustrated if I just give you a couple of examples. Fable looks fantastic. Do we have a release date, Jay?
No.
Do we have a release window?
No.
Do you think that game is coming out next year?
No.
Okay. I'll move on to another example.
Although, to be honest, I think maybe late next year.
Sure,
Maybe.
maybe. I'll give another example. Avowed is basically the fantasy Outer Worlds, which is what I predicted.
It's just funny how it's sort of like gone backwards, right? They've gone from like Starfield is the space fantasy now,
Right.
the space Fallout or the space Skyrim, but now Outer Worlds has gone from space fantasy to regular fantasy.
Right.
It's quite funny.
It is. Let's look at another example. Compulsion Games, we finally know what they're doing. Fantastic. It was only a matter of time before someone did a stop motion game due to Cuphead. And although we kind of got that a bit with, oh no, Jay, I'm getting old. Lost in Random. South of Midnight looks great. Jay, do we have a release date for that game?
There's also no gameplay, so I couldn't.
Did we get any gameplay for that game? Do we know a release window for that game? Okay, I'll move on, shall I? Okay, Star Wars Outlaws coming next year. No, it isn't. Moving on. Forza Motorsport coming this October. All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
It's
that
got
one
some
is
fans.
almost a guarantee.
In Exile's Clockwork Revolution revealed. Great trailer. Looks interesting. Looks like Bioshock Infinite.
2025.
Exactly.
That's when that's
all I'm
coming out.
trying to say, guys, I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy for the sake of it. Genuinely, like I don't really care. But let's evaluate the showcase, guys. What have you got to take away from it? Where the lineup's looking stronger, the games are in development and they're coming. What gives you the impression any of these games are coming next year? Because as far as I'm concerned, almost none of them are. So we're back to square one, Jay. We're back to square one. Where are the games for this year and next year? All right, Nick. Well, look, from 2025 onwards, they'll be amazing. Well, we'll see about that when they come out. Oh, Nick, Starfield looks amazing. Guys.
That's all they've got, really, isn't it, Starfield? Kind of what it feels
they
like.
bought Starfield. They didn't make it. You know what I mean? So, look, And that's a very simplistic way of looking at it. I'm sure they've collaborated, but that's just my thoughts on the showcase in general. So look, let's break down game by game. Jay, one of my favorite series. We finally saw Fable. They opened with it. It was British. It was funny. It had
Very British,
Richard
yeah.
Adioye.
Ayawade.
Adiowade. Very,
Ayawade.
very funny guy. I love the twist that he's a giant. Kind of saw it coming, but love the twist.
I didn't see it coming, but also did see it coming at the same time. Like it was sort of
Did
like
you
a
like
half and
Did
half.
you like the reveal, Jay? What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was clever. Thought it was all right. Yeah.
I mean, look, it's going to be 100%, a day one for me. By the way, most of these games, it was very much day one on Game Pass during the showcase.
Mhm.
We also
A lot of
got
world
this
premiere and Game
world
Pass
premiere.
exclusive.
By the way, guys, we didn't get these aren't in order. This is summarized by IGN, but we're just going through them. Jay, I haven't played Cyberpunk yet, but obviously you got more Phantom Liberty
Dude,
details.
they've added a new ending essentially. 'Cause
Wow.
the game already had so many endings you could do, but now they've added a new one, the one that people seemingly wanted. I won't say
Okay.
too much, but I've been wanting this ending, in quotes, for a while.
And coming September 26th.
Yeah, it's annoying because we've got Mortal Kombat 1 on the 19th, we've got that on the 26th, and we've got Starfield on the technically the 1st if you get early access.
Sure.
It's just like, Jesus
Very
Christ,
cool.
so much going
We
on.
saw a lot of Avowed, and again, looks interesting. I think people had built this up to be Obsidian Skyrim, and I never thought it was going to be that.
Okay.
But it essentially looks as though it's Obsidian's fantasy Outer Worlds, basically. Did you have any
hmm
particular thoughts on Avowed, Jay? Did you like the look of it, or
I'm skeptical.
okay?
I think is probably the way I'm going to look at it. Um, yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one, I think.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Hard to
And
say.
furthermore,
Hard to say. I mean, I'm
they
skeptical
did
about all of it, to be honest.
too deep in Diablo. We also got a black 1 TB Xbox Series S, which looks great, and I think is a fair call from them. No,
Yeah, I felt
slightly increased
because
price.
we saw it coming because we have that, and then we've also got the is it the WD MD Black have made a new 1 TB card for the Xbox Series X as well. So,
Right, right.
yeah, we kind of knew certain things were coming, I guess.
So that was cool. And we
I
also got Compulsion Games' The South of Midnight reveal, which looks really cool. So obviously we've been wanting to know what the hell is Compulsion Games making. Looks interesting.
hmm
What thoughts?
Compulsion is the claymation looking one.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, sort of like a bayou type, Louisiana-y type thing going on, jazzy kind of thing going on, bluesy type thing going on. Yeah, it looks interesting.
Blue.
I mean, I don't know. What have they made before? Remind me.
They made. Oh, Nick, you're losing it.
Was it We Happy Few? Is that the one
Thank
they
you.
did?
And before that, they made Contrast.
Oh yeah, I have that still. Um, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in my wheelhouse necessarily. Is that the right word?
Yeah, 100%.
I guess we'll just have to
We'll see what the
see.
gameplay's like, right?
Yeah.
Joe, we did get a reveal of a single-player Star Wars game. Hail the Lords! Star
Yes.
Wars Outlaws coming from Ubisoft's Massive Entertainment. I think. Um, what are your thoughts on? I mean, we got gameplay from the
Yeah, we did
Ubisoft
get. It's
forward.
amazing how we got gameplay. That surprised me. I will say the Ubisoft forward surprised me in certain instances.
Agreed.
Um,
Agreed.
the gameplay looked a little rocky. You can definitely see the bones of what was going on. You can kind of see it looks fairly ambitious.
Very.
Um, but I mean, most games are nowadays.
This is our most ambitious game to date.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
but dude, it looks great, right? In between 5 and 6. I mean, it looks fantastic.
I don't know. I think the gameplay didn't impress me as much as I wanted it to.
I think this might
I
be
don't
more of a
really know
stealth
what it's
game.
going for.
I think
I
it's.
don't. I can't tell what it's trying to do because I think because we've had Jedi Fallen Order, it's kind of like, well, you're a Jedi. In this, you're just like Han
You're
Solo.
not a Jedi. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I
what
think
would
it
I
looks.
rather
I think
be?
it looks really good.
The guy with the lightsaber, probably.
But Jay, what are your thoughts about Xbox having this reveal at their showcase? Like, do you think they paid a lot for it? Like, what do you reckon?
I think Ubisoft would probably pay them.
Yeah, fair
To
enough.
be honest, Ubisoft aren't. It's weird. Ubisoft feel more like just regular people that happen to make games, versus everyone else feels like more professional. Does that make
Sure.
sense? Like Ubisoft almost feel like they're like a startup company, but they're not. They're the complete opposite. But they
For
feel like one.
Forza Motorsport, Jay, do you care about this?
Game Pass?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be playing it.
Okay. Like a
Fan of
lot,
Game Pass. I'm not
or
paying for it. I mean, I've played every Forza. Oh, God, maybe like the last 5 or 6 Forzas, maybe. So I mean, I gotta play it, I guess. See what it's like.
sure.
Racing games, I'm usually in the mood for every so often. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see what it's like. It looks fine. I mean, I'm kind of impressed with the amount they can get away with in games like that now. So
Yeah. Okay.
kind of crazy.
No dramas. We then got In Exile's Clockwork Revolution. So they
Yeah,
made
this kind of looks pretty
Wasteland
cool.
1, 2, 3, which are a bit like old school Fallout games. And
Hmm.
this is a
Yeah, they are
first
like that,
person
aren't they? Yeah.
shooter RPG, I think, which looks exactly like Bioshock Infinite, in my opinion. But anyway, what
Yes.
did you think about it?
Yeah. No, I'm a fan. I'm kind of. We didn't get any gameplay, did we?
Don't think so.
No, I kind of want to see what the because there's that other game coming out that's made by old ex Bioshock devs. The one in space, the one with that woman on a spaceship. Do you remember what that was
Oh,
called? It
yes,
was
yes,
like,
yes. Ghost Story Games. What, Ken Levine?
was it like Eris
Judas.
or something? Judas. There we
Judas.
go. I had an is on the end of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like that and this sort of have again the same bones.
sure.
I think Matty Plays made a good comparison. It almost felt a little bit like Sanctuary, not Sanctuary. I'm thinking of like Diablo on the brain. Singularity.
Oh, yeah.
It had a very similar sort of bone structure to,
Nice.
which is again, it was. If I had to make we need to do this one point. We need to make a list of games we want sequels of, because I have two that are at the top of my list.
Okay.
One of them being Singularity, the other Quantum Break. They both deserve a sequel.
All right. Well, you know my list, Jay.
Go on. Probably Last of Us. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only one that's coming to mind, really. I want a part
Okay.
3.
I need to think about it. Actually, I need to think what else there is.
I'll have a think too. Moving
Yeah.
on. We got Jay. Oh no. I'm bleeding.
Okay.
Um, Jay, I want to just confirm this with you.
Uh.
Metaphor Refantasio from the creators
I
of
cannot
Persona.
wait.
Is this the core Persona studio? Like, this is the Persona 5 studio who made Persona 5 from. Oh my god, Nick, you've got long COVID.
I don't know what you're trying to. What are
Jay,
you
who
trying to
made
say?
Persona,
Atlas.
please? Atlas, thank you.
Jesus.
Is this is like very much
Yes, I think this is being made instead of Persona 6,
right? Okay,
potentially. Because this, I think that this game had already had a trailer. It got teased, I think, a couple of years ago. I think it was called Project Re something.
okay.
You'd recognize it if you saw it. But then obviously the name has changed now to an official name.
So, I mean, how did Xbox get this at their showcase, Jay?
Xbox seemed to be in cahoots with Atlas. I say cahoots, you know what I mean? Like they're sort of
How's that
involved.
happened?
Well, Phil's been to Japan a couple times, and he's tried to get as much Japanese games on Xbox as he can, and he obviously met up with Atlas at some point.
Right.
He gets on a plane to go to Japan fairly often, so
Yeah,
he's
fair
over
enough, I
there
guess.
whenever he can. I think.
Yeah, okay. We then got from the Spiritfarer studio, Thunder Lotus. I liked their game before Spiritfarer, called Sundered. That was a great game.
Yeah, I remember.
They revealed a new co-op action game called 33 Immortals, which looks quite interesting.
No,
More
didn't interest
co-op.
me even slightly.
Oh, dude, what, a raid-focused co-op online game?
Eh. I didn't like the aesthetic.
Okay,
Not my bag.
fine. Then a really big reveal Payday 3
Yeah, we kind of knew that was coming at some point. I think we were expecting it at potentially the PlayStation,
coming
but
to Game
Xbox have it.
Pass
So
this year, September.
yeah, I'll be testing it out. I put quite a few hours into
Payday
Payday
2.
2.
Jay, this game feels a bit rushed because Payday 2 is such a
Really?
big game, don't you think?
I think my opinion on Payday 3 was it's taken its time. Like it's been a while. And then my second thought was the game doesn't look that great. But I reckon if I went and back and played 2, I'd probably be like, "Oh, that looks a bit rough." Hard to say, really. But,
Okay. All right.
so it's one of the. I feel like Payday 2 is one of the last games I remember where my memory of it looks a lot better than what it actually is. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like how most games are when you're a kid. Like your idea of it is so much better than the actual thing of it.
Jay, your dreams came true. Persona 3 Reload coming to Game Pass. Holy
Dreams
moly.
shattered. Dreams shattered
Oh, dream
immediately.
shattered. Dream shattered. Say more.
It doesn't include any of the extra content in it, so it's just the base game. It's no like extra stuff because the whole point of the game, like the game's already had a remaster version. It was basically the equivalent of Royal, but we're talking like years and years ago, like so long ago that it's still basically the same game. But they're not even going to include any of that stuff in it, and it's like, well, what's the point? Why would you remake it if you're not even going to add all the extra stuff in, like they did with Royal? It's like, well, I don't understand. Second problem I've got with it, the Americans have got their hold on it, and they've put as much ESG as they possibly could in it, probably. They've made it a bit of a woke fest, a bit of a censorship. What do they call it? Localization. They've localized it. They've made all like say there's like a word in it or like a phrase in it or a certain subject in it that would be fine in Japan, but not in the sort of woke part of America. They basically changed the wordage to make it seem a bit more diverse friendly or I don't know, gay friendly or something.
Which
Like if
is a
someone mentions
problem
a
for
certain
sure,
word,
Jay. Is this
they
going to
just
stop?
censor the shit out of it basically.
Is this going to stop you from playing it on Game
Playing it,
Pass?
probably, yeah.
I like it. I like it. Stand by your
I have,
beliefs.
I have, yeah. I'm standing with my beliefs, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until I'm proven otherwise. Yeah, there's no point.
No, I like it.
It's just, I just no, that
On that
doesn't
note,
sit
Jay,
quite right with me.
how do your thoughts lie with Persona 5 Tactica?
Tactica. Fairly similar to
Fire Emblem style tactics game on Persona 5, apparently coming to
oh,
Game Pass
there
this
was a game
year.
called Strikers that was out that I
Right,
still need to play, but
the fighting one.
they're just trying to they're trying to pump out as much Persona stuff as they can, really, because they know they can make money off of it. And I think what happened was Royal came out on Game Pass, and they were like, "Fuck, we didn't realize this many people hadn't played the game." So they're just trying to make as much Persona 5 content as they possibly can now, which is a good thing because I want more Persona 5.
What are you
But
playing this?
no, I probably won't be playing this. No, this
Okay,
is a little bit outside of my wheelhouse.
fine.
That's my word of the podcast this week. Is wheelhouse
Wheelhouse.
or my bag.
Wheelhouse. Okay,
That's
cool.
just my word this time.
Sea of Thieves gets a Monkey Island crossover. Very smart. Very smart.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah. Cool for people who are over age 37. About it.
Very
Really.
good. Very good. Okay.
Yeah. Not for me, but for older people maybe.
Enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. Okay.
Yeah.
Microsoft basically shoe a new
Sure
flight
do.
simulator game 2024 with loads of new stuff, including missions, basically.
They showed a flight simulator, as they said.
Yeah, Flight Simulator
Yeah.
2024. They shoot with like missions, like you can do firefight rescues, hot air balloon, like
Yeah, because
loads
there
of stuff.
was they had didn't they have like a Halo thing as well at some point?
The June thing.
I can't even remember. I'm pretty sure they've just had a load of collaborations with other
Sure,
things, you know.
sure. Well, it was it looked really cool. as someone who hasn't played that game, I was like, yeah, that's cool, man. That's almost really, still living that dream of a real flight simulator, doing those sorts of
I mean,
missions.
pilots practice on that thing, you know.
It's the real deal, dude. It's the real deal.
Yeah, it's pretty
And then
cool.
the real deal for us, Jay, Hellblade 2.
Yeah,
We got an amazing
that's
trailer.
probably one of the better things of the entire show. I'd say that was probably in my top three of like, ooh, that's got me excited. Although a
100%.
lot of people were complaining online, they were like, still no gameplay, and I was like, I don't know if that was gameplay. Was
Nah,
that
that's
gameplay?
bullshit because I think that section will be in the game, but also that bit with the giant was gameplay.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't think I don't know. A lot of people. I don't know. This is a lot of Senua haters apparently. Don't
Yeah,
know
they can
how, but
suck
it
it.
just is. It's very odd, if you ask me.
Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth revealed for 2024, another JRPG, funnily enough.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling that would get something at some point. I'm kind of glad about that one. I still need to finish the other one at some point. I'll get there eventually, I'm sure.
Sorry, I got distracted there.
Right.
Fallout 76 getting another expansion, Atlantic City. Bit like New Vegas by the looks of things.
Mhm.
Yep, good.
Yeah, good idea actually. Fairly good idea.
Yeah, that is a good idea. Coming soon. Capcom reveals Path of the Goddess. Well, Kunitsu. Sorry, I want to get this right.
Please.
Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess.
Okay. Yes.
I'd love to get your thoughts on it because I have no idea what to think about this game.
Yeah, I don't have much of a thing. It looked interesting. I don't know if I like it yet. Again, like when I first saw what do you call it? Wolong, I was kind of like, eh, but now I love it. So I'll just have to wait and see.
Banner
It looks
Saga
cool.
creators revealed Towerborn, which looked kind of interesting, I thought. A co-op adventure in an ever-changing world coming to Xbox Game Pass next year, apparently. Do you remember Towerborn, Jay?
Don't think so. No.
It looked quite interesting. You should... I think it looks interesting. Maybe I could be wrong.
Okay.
Oh,
I like
yeah, this was
Battleborn.
fucking
Battleborn was
great reveal.
cool.
Still wakes the deep from the people who made Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Oh my god, I cannot wait to play this game.
Okay. I can't even remember this one.
It's the one
I
on
heard
the
there was a
oil
lot of.
rig. Looks like a horror game.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Coming to
Is that
Game
Game
Pass
Pass?
day
Yeah.
one.
Sweet.
Can't wait. I love this studio. I love the composer, Jessica Curry. Just, yeah, can't wait for this game. Can't wait for this game. I'm really excited. We also got Dungeons of Hinterberg, Jay. Not sure if you remember this one. It was like cell shadery, and again coming to Game Pass next year apparently. Bit more of an indie looking game, I'd say.
Okay.
Don't know if you remember
Yeah,
it.
no. I mean, a lot of the indie stuff I don't really give too much
Mess
of a hoot
with.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
It's
enough.
funny. Every so often there's that one that sort of sticks out, but I don't think there was much that stuck out for me this time. There's still that one that's got to come out that seems very like Hades, like where like you have to go through that bubble and you like go to like the next area or whatever. Remember that one? I think it might have already come out. I think it got shown off last year.
I
It's
don't know what
very
you're on about,
vague
bro.
what I'm describing, but
Nah, that's cool.
yeah, that was probably the one that stuck out to me last year. You were
Next.
saying
Oh,
earlier about this is like a brief backside to what we were talking about earlier.
yeah.
You were saying about how Xbox, like everything they showed off was coming in like 2 years and not next year.
Yeah.
So, well, what the hell are they going to show us next year?
Well, I
They're
mean,
going to show us
that's
stuff that's
me.
coming out next year, or are they going to show us stuff that's coming out 2025, 2026? It's like,
Well, to be fair, a lot of these things have got 2024 on them. I'm just being a bit of a skeptic in that, half
yeah,
of the games
they
these
didn't go
days
with
are
the 12-month thing anymore, did they? So
right, but half these games will get delayed because that just seems the nature of things. But
yeah, yeah.
what do I think they'll show, Jay? I don't know what they'll show. I don't know.
No, just let's just hope it's good.
I feel like they're on such a reaction front at the foot. You know, like they're. It's not a case where like it doesn't feel a case where they've like fested the studios and helped them create amazing things and like I'm not saying it's not the case, but what I'm saying is it doesn't feel like that, right? It feels
Mm,
like oh man, we've got to show some stuff, so yeah, let's just put some stuff together because geez Louise, it's looking bad out there. But that's just how
sure.
I feel about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Yeah, it does feel a little bit like, oh, we need to do something.
like if PlayStation had a stronger showcase, uh, again, guys, you talking about a showcase where we saw Spider-Man 2. Do any of these games look nearly as good as Spider-Man 2? No. No, they don't.
Sure.
ESO gets its new expansion, or smallish expansion. Jay, ESO expansions are just nuts. Like, I feel like we're getting 2 a year.
It annoys me, like ESO and Fallout 76. I feel like had I been either a different person or I don't know, I just feel like I missed out a little bit.
Because you're not in
Like I
it.
feel like, yeah, because I'm not involved. But I guess I feel a similar way with most games. I just have
Sure.
FOMO. I guess I have like a weird level of FOMO with it.
Sure.
Like I kind of wish I'd been more around, but there's just been so many games. It's just, you got to pick something in it. You can't with a game like that. You just kind of have to stick with it. But I can't do that sometimes. I mean, I've proven that with Diablo. Like I need variety. I can't just do one thing for over 110 hours. Seems to be about my limit.
And this trailer was amazing, Jay.
Mhm.
Um, City Skylines 2.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we knew this was coming. Did they show this off? Where did they show this off recently? That wasn't the Xbox showcase. They definitely showed it off somewhere else. Just trying to remember where.
But it looks good. I thought it was a good
Yeah,
trailer
I
because
played
it
the
made
first one. It definitely needed an update. It needed something to evolve it.
sure.
Definitely.
And then we got from the creators of Life is Strange. They revealed a climbing game called Jusant.
Yeah, this looks interesting actually. That
It
did
does look
surprise me.
interesting. Don't get me wrong. You know,
It sort of
unfortunately,
had a.
it does make me think about Zelda. But go on, sorry.
It kind of made me think a little bit of like Journey. Honestly, like it had that sort of aesthetic.
Mm.
Almost I don't know. Like it just kind of had a almost ethereal type thing going on. Very like Native American almost.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
loving animals and special powers and stuff.
Coming later
It was
this year,
quite interesting.
apparently. It's nice to when we read through them, Jay, because I don't really pay attention to the release dates when I'm watching
No,
it. But it's quite
no, me
nice to
neither.
go over what's actually coming and when a little bit. There's quite a lot coming later this year, if it really is. This year's stacked, really stacked. Cool. Well, that's everything from Xbox Showcase, apart from kind of the Starfield Direct, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I hope you agree with me, Jay, that this was the Starfield reveal that we dreamed of.
Yeah, it kind of just kept going, didn't it? It was. I was like, I literally was like, okay, so is it gonna
Right,
end now?
right.
Like, I was kind of blown away at like how in depth they went. Like, I think that's a good thing they did that because if they hadn't, I think people probably would have been pissed. They'd have been like, oh, tease, great. But no, I think this was actually fairly necessary. I think it was necessary for casual gamers and for the hardcore gamers to be like, oh, we actually have more stuff to go on now, kind of thing, you know. Because I follow one or two people who are like Starfield only channels. Like they popped up beginning of the year to be like, right, we're just going to do Starfield content, and any scrap of information we get, we're just going to make it into like a 40-minute video. And I love it. I watch every second of it, and I absolutely love it. Like this last showcase we had, the 45-minute Starfield one, I think I've watched like one guy maybe spend about 4 or 5 hours just chatting about every detail.
Oh,
It's just it's
It's
great.
been phenomenal. It's
It's
been absolutely phenomenal.
brilliant.
I think Jay, we could do a whole podcast on what we saw there, but
You could do a
rest assured,
documentary on what you saw, probably.
right.
It'd be
But
crazy.
rest assured, this is a showcase we'll remember forever. I think, and
Hmm.
this is exactly the feeling I think both you and me wanted, you know, going away from looking at that game again. And for me, this is the reveal that Todd Howard would always wanted to do. You know, like this, there was no question in my mind now. Like people have gone, oh shit. this is the
Mm.
real thing. This
This was kind
is,
of This was like the production level we wanted.
and this is
Anything
like,
less than that, it just feels subpar now.
I
But that's
think also with
Bethesda.
the game
Bethesda always
itself,
really pull it out for stuff like that.
and the game, but the game itself, Jay, like, I think there's not much doubt in our minds now about the quality of this
There's
game
definitely
will be.
some. There's always going to be some. I think the biggest thing that came out of all of it seems to still be the frames. But
Right.
I don't really care about 30 on this one because I don't think it needs 60. I mean, we've only ever played Fallout other than recently on 30 frames. They've all every Bethesda game has launched at 30 frames, every single one.
True. The main core games, yeah. Yeah, so basically, for those who don't know, Todd Howard did an interview with Ryan McCaffrey, the
Oh, it
G,
was good. It was
and
so good.
talked
Ryan
about
knows he asks perfect questions every time.
And he
He
talked
knows how to
about,
do it.
he asked Todd about frame rate just to see if he could say anything. He said, look, yep, we're going for 30. We're going for a stable 30 so that, in most situations, you'll get that stability. Sometimes it will go above, I think he might have said, but it'll never go
No,
below.
what he was specifically saying is if it's unlocked, it can go higher than 30, sometimes hit 60. But I
Right.
think I don't know if you watched the Digital Foundry stuff, aren't did you?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah,
No.
they sort of went more in depth as to they did I think maybe like a 45-hour long video of like
45
all the
minute?
reasons why they could or the reasons why it wasn't going to be viable to be in 60 basically
Right.
because the game is asking so much of the console already that it's just almost impossible to
Do
expect
that.
that level of stuff. Like it's already asking so much for like a high end PC, so
Sure.
it's gonna be interesting to see how it runs. But as long as it feels good, I don't really give a shit. As long as it's not stuttery and it's smooth, then I'll be happy. I kind of don't want it to be like the 30 frames in Jedi. Still a bit rough around the edges.
Yeah, we need a stable 30, right?
It needs to be literally no movement, and
Yeah.
it needs to play exactly like Fallout 4, basically. Anything less than that, then Bethesda have failed, as far as I'm concerned.
I just I'm just in love with this game. I really am.
Me too.
I am.
I can't wait.
I'm in love with like when they were showing, like
Looks
you say, Jay. It just
gorgeous.
went on and on, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm sold on that. Wait, there's more. What? There's
There's more.
more.
There's
What?
more. There's more. It
The
kept
only
going. Yeah.
thing I think that if it was like Dreamland and you were like gun to the head, Nick, what did you want? This sounds boring as hell, but I really want like a finance stock system, a bit like GTA
No,
5.
I need to give you a link to this guy's YouTube channel because he went in so in depth in that. He literally went into the whole like the sort of hub system where you can make your own place and all the crew and everything.
Right.
And he was talking about how I think there's a certain starting class or whatever they call them, like the aspects or whatever they are, where you get a certain thing that allows you to like make more money or something, or in like trading or whatever.
What in the game?
Yeah,
How
you
does
can
he
do
know
like
that?
because he did analyzing on all the videos
Oh
that he's
my
shown.
god! But yeah, like
Talks about it
for
for like
me, Jay,
30
that
minutes.
game looks
Brilliant.
basically like how Star Citizen was supposed to be, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I think that's what did that's thing. Funny you say that. Digital Foundry in their video, their hour-long thing about the frame rate or whatever, they went into depth. They used that as an example as to why 60 frames isn't viable. Basically,
Right, right.
you need to watch that video. It's very helpful.
I will. I will. If I
Yeah,
remember, I
no,
will.
it's great. Yeah.
But yeah, Starfield looks amazing, absolutely amazing. So,
Mm-hmm.
Jay, let's move on because we've got so much to cover
Way
and
too much.
we're gonna we're gonna be tired tomorrow. Okay, next up.
Dude, I'm already running on like no sleep. Like seriously, like
uh,
so
let's
little
do the
sleep.
Capcom showcase, Jay, because I feel like there's not much to talk
Yeah,
about here.
I don't know. I just put it on there, just more of a like. I can't remember what was there. I need reminding just in case there is anything good.
Yeah, Dragon Dogmas 2 gets gameplay deep dive.
Eh,
Agreed. Pragmata delayed indefinitely.
that's what Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about was
So
Pragmata.
did they do
Yeah,
a trailer for this?
they did. It's kind of insane. They showed off a lot. It looks sick.
But
Like
they did a
I
trailer
got
announcing a delay, basically.
yeah, basically. But they showed off more of the game. That's all I really give a shit about.
Right.
We
Okay. I
actually
haven't
have
even
an
watched the
idea of
trailer
what the
yet.
game is. We saw gameplay basically.
So what is
You
it?
didn't
Like an
see
action?
You didn't see it,
No, I haven't watched it.
dude. My God, I think that gave me goosebumps.
What is an action game? What is it?
Um, the only thing I can really they showed off sort of like gameplay without HUD or anything. It was sort of like almost cinematic gameplay. So it gave me a similar feeling as what Death Stranding did when I first saw it. It's like, oh, this looks like it's going to be interesting to play. Like it's going to sort of make me have to think a bit. You
Interesting.
just need to watch
Okay.
the trailer. I can't. It's not. You can't really describe it.
All right. All right.
It's
All right.
it's it's very. It feels very Japanese. I give it that.
By the way, I didn't watch the showcase, Jay, because everyone said it was awful. So like really
Which
awful.
one? Oh, the
Capcom.
Capcom one? No,
Yeah.
it's fine. I think the best bit about it was
Pragmata.
Pragma.
Okay. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy coming next year.
Pog. Good series. I like that stuff.
And Jay's
I need to
favorite
go
game
back
of
and
the
play them.
show, Exo Primal, gets a new trailer, roadmap, and battle pass reveal.
Yeah, I've got that pre-downloaded for the Game Pass. I probably won't play it much. I'll just play it for like. I'll see what the because I'm more interested in what the progression is, like if there's like a level system in terms of like leveling up your character or whatever. But if there
Sure.
isn't, then I'm not even going to bother.
Okay.
I feel like there needs to be like some sort of battle passy type leveling, like almost like an anthemy type thing, you know.
Mm. I didn't realize that game was coming so soon. Actually, Jay.
July, it comes out in like a month. Yeah.
There was a Ghost Trick remaster demo available.
Mhm. Liza
Mystery game.
P demo
Liza P demo.
and Final Fantasy 16 demo as well, which I'm yet to play
Right.
either of because I don't think I want to spoil it.
I'm with you on that. Mega
Yeah.
Man Cross Dive offline. What the fuck?
Yeah. I feel like the Capcom showcase is more for like Maximilian. He likes to go sort of he's like the Capcom guy, right? So
Sure.
he sort of went a bit more in depth into all this stuff.
Okay. That's Capcom. Let's move
Mm.
on to. Oh, my voice is really going. Let's move on
I'm actually not that
to.
tired yet. I'll give it about an hour and I'll probably
I
get to
think
where you are.
download has messed it up a little, if I'm honest with
I
you,
was gonna
Jay.
say yeah, download's definitely messed up for you.
Let's go to Ubisoft, Jay. What did you think of
This
Ubisoft, generally
was
speak? Oh, we talked about
right.
this, right? Oh,
Yes,
extensively.
I need to go into depth again because
Please,
this is
please.
insane. This was I feel like right. So what one thing happens every year E3 season?
Cringe?
Cringe. There's always something cringy that goes on. There's at least one cringy moment, and it's usually on like a big stage. But the reason why this was cringy is because it was on a smaller stage as well. That didn't help. So Ubisoft's showcase was in like a really much smaller room, definitely. Like it felt like Ubisoft got given the short end of the straw or whatever, you know, like they pulled the short straw. And they were like, right, we'll have to make do with what we got, kind of thing. Which is funny because Ubisoft is this fucking massive company with like probably more money than a lot of these other companies. Yet
Well, you
they
say that, Jay, but we know they're in trouble, right? We know they're
yeah,
in
it kind
trouble
of
at the
seems
moment.
like they've got a lot of money that they could liquidate, but that they can't. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah.
They got a lot of money in investments, but nothing in actual like liquid or nothing in like solid money. Like they can't just be like, right, we'll spend that. They have to be like, right, we have to sell that and then we can spend. You know, that's kind of what it feels like. Yeah, super cringy. Like I'm guessing you thought the same thing. Please tell me you thought the same thing, because fuck me, was it cringy?
I
Jesus
did. I
Christ,
did. It was just, what's the point? Oh, yeah. I'm completely with
there
you.
was that uh, uh, musical number.
Please don't.
What was the game? What was it? It was for bloody Skull and Bones, right? They
Yeah.
literally they oh god, Skull and Bones. All they had to show was a band doing a song from the game, and it wasn't even that interesting. It was kind of a bit cringy and weird. Like if that doesn't tell you where the game is at currently development wise, I don't know what else does. Like that made me feel kind of like bad for them, honestly.
They were good performers, though.
Oh, fine, I guess. Yeah,
I thought they were
sure.
good. Um, yeah. So without further ado, let's get into it. Obviously, we talked about Star Wars Outlaws. I think it looks excellent. Jay's,
I'm
gonna
definitely
watch
have
it.
to be on the fence. I'm on the fence. I have
Um,
to wait
Jay,
because it's
oh, go
funny.
on. Sorry.
Was it Kotaku? Who was it? It was one of the publications. It wasn't IGN, but it was someone else. It was someone like that. They put out an article that was genuinely fake news.
Okay.
And it kind of made me think, hang on, what else have they gotten away with, you know, in terms
Yeah,
of like
sure.
articles? Because these people make up some of the fucking dumbest shit you ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. But I don't know if you saw this article. They literally put out an article saying the outrage of a female protagonist. And it's like, no, but genuinely zero people were complaining about it. If anything, the majority of what I saw was cool, awesome, a female protagonist, great. Like I didn't see one single iota of, because everyone always says, you know, the misogyny of the gaming community, but actually I think this is actually the opposite. I think people came out in like droves to be like, cool, this looks great, Star Wars with a female in it, brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, look,
It
when they
really
write
surprised me.
articles
It
like
was
that,
they
I think they're pretty much quoting. I think they're pretty much quoting Twitter users, which is,
Well, yeah, but I don't even think it was that, because I think it was primarily like them just trying to get some sort of like brownie points or something.
right.
Like, it just seemed a bit odd, a bit backwards to me. I didn't really understand it, but
Very
that's the
strange.
way Kotaku is, I guess.
Joe, I'd love to get your thoughts on Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora.
Okay.
I'd be interested to hear what you think about this game. Do you like
Uh,
Avatar?
whenever I think of this, I think back to the three. Is it the 360 one? Was it on 360?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. That's right.
Um, yeah, I'm. Avatar's not in my wheelhouse. This doesn't interest me, like not even in the slightest.
Sure.
Like I don't even really like
Sequel?
I mean, I haven't seen it. I don't even really like I mean, it's fine. It's whatever.
Okay.
It's like okay, Avatar, you know. Like I don't think a lot of people are that excited about it. I don't think people watched the movie just because it was interesting.
Fair enough.
You know, it was new. It was just like a new thing. But I don't know.
Well, what I will say, Jay, is I really like the look of it. I'm
Sure,
a big
is it? It's not game. It's not Game Pass.
no, no. I I'm a big Avatar fan. I think probably bigger than most people.
Hmm.
And I think it's basically a Far Cry Avatar, and I'm all for that. I'm not gonna pay full price for
Oh
it, but
yeah, no, I thought the same thing. It was Far Cry. Yeah, that's
yeah, I think
exactly what I
so.
thought.
I
That is
think so. Like I couldn't
exactly what I
quite
thought.
figure out the structure of the game, but even if it's not super polished, like I'll probably play it because it's Avatar. If I'm honest with you, bro. And I'm
Hmm.
okay with that. Like
Hang on. So is it Game Pass or no?
no, I don't think
So
so.
you're gonna pay money to play that?
No. I'm not. I wouldn't pay full price for that, but I'd probably get it on sale. Or what I'd probably do is get Ubisoft Plus or whatever it's called for like a month and just play it
Isn't
all
that
month.
included in PlayStation thingy premium or whatever it is?
Oh, I don't know, Jay. I don't
I
know
think it
if it
is.
is. Is
I
it?
think it is. Yeah.
In that case, I will probably just do that if that's the case.
Yeah. I'd check
So
it.
I
Obviously costs extra, but
unless it's like really bad, I'll probably go through it, and I imagine it'll be a great podcast game or even a game I'll enjoy. Hopefully, that'll
okay.
be my goal with it. But I can appreciate that that's not going to be a lot of people's, and also co-op campaigns. So like, I even messaged Will, and I'm like, dude, we could totally play through this in
I was
co-op
say that seems
campaign,
like a game you and Will would enjoy together.
100%, bro,
Yes, that definitely seems way up your two alley, as it were.
100%. Yep. So
Not
so
my kind
yeah,
of thing.
Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Jay, going back to the
Oh yeah.
roots, 2D Prince of Persia game with like kind of 3D graphics. Thoughts on this?
Yep. I was pleasantly surprised. I saw that and went, "Hang on, like that's actually good. That looks fucking awesome." So
Sure.
this isn't the same game that they told us about before, is it? The
No,
other one's still in development. There's still one other one that's in
the Sands
development
of
that is
Time remake
actually,
is in development still.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and well, delayed. Definitely. Yes, correct. Correct. Yeah. Did you like the
Yes.
look of this? Did you like the
Yeah.
rap element
Like
and
it's
the?
Metroidvania kind of thingy, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it did fine. I probably won't play it,
Okay.
but yeah, I was happy that there are people who are probably going to be happy that they'll enjoy it. You know,
Agreed. I agree with that
I
sentiment.
think if you were the dev team of that, I'd be happy with the response. I think it was actually one of the standout things of that Ubisoft thing. Actually, I think it goes whatever that was. Um, what else was there? AC
I see.
and
Well,
then whatever.
then that leads us directly, Jay, to well, okay. Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. Don't give a shit about that. Codename Jade for mobile. Thoughts on
Hmm.
this?
Yeah, I mean we've already seen. Well, actually, it got leaked a while ago. So I mean,
Are you going to
I've seen a
play it? Are
decent
you
amount of
excited
it.
for? Because
I
you're a
think
mobile
so.
gamer, so
Yeah, it doesn't really. It's in this sort of similar vein to Liberation for me.
okay,
Just
sure.
not necessary.
That's surprising though, because you love mobile games, or do you like mobile
Yeah,
games that are mobile games? You know what I'm saying?
yeah. There's like a limit, I guess. I don't know.
Sure.
There's only so much I'll
Participate in.
participate in. Yeah,
Yeah, no, fair enough. And then we also got the Crew Motorfest arrives in September.
yeah. That's not good.
We also got a Netflix trailer for Captain Laserhawk: A Blood Dragon remix.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that was the cringiest thing of the whole thing,
Talk about oh yeah, that I think
dude. That
the
was
producer
embarrassing.
slash director, he he's obviously doing what Ubisoft I think probably told him to do, but basically like left a spot, a gap for the crowd to like woo at Blood Dragon. But I think because we've all sick of Blood Dragon, there wasn't a single
No, it
reaction.
was yeah. There was nothing.
It was
Just silence.
yeah, it was awkward. Is what it was.
Fuck me. It was yeah. It was weird.
It was awkward. So there's that. Skull and Bones closed beta coming in. Yeah, no one gives a shit about that. Division Resurgence again, mobile game. Oh my god. Sizzle Reel reveals Jet Set Radio and Halo crossovers on
Yeah,
Riders
boy.
Republic. Okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
think Jet Set Radio is probably one thing I'm most excited about.
But that's a crossover, right?
I don't know. I thought it was just. I thought they were just because I know there was a game that came out recently that is basically Jet Set Radio but different. Um, but I'm pretty sure they're remaking it, aren't they? Pretty
Oh, I'm
sure.
not sure. Oh, my apologies. I haven't
Yeah,
watched the
pretty sure
trailer.
they're just remaking it.
Fine. And then last up, Jay, they finished with Mirage. We've got a lot to talk about.
Yes, I pre-ordered it right after.
Lovely.
I was like, right, it's time. Let's do it.
Right, what do you think of Mirage then, Jay? This is a game we haven't seen
Um,
for pretty much ever. They haven't really shown us the game. We've known about it for years at this point. An expansion for Valhalla that turned into its own game. It's supposed to be AC roots. What we saying? What we feeling?
I'm a bit both annoyed and happy. I definitely think we needed something like this, just again for variety sake.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely would have been happy if had we got another Valhalla with RPG elements or whatever. The thing that sold for me was the bloody was the Splinter Cell thing. I forgot what it's called. That thing where you sort of dash to enemies and you kill them all one after the other. Because that was originally part of Splinter Cell. That's the reason why Ubisoft used that mechanic.
Oh, really?
It's got a name, but I forgot what it's called. Yeah, but that's why they haven't had it in AC.
Mirage?
No, what's the they got Mirage, but what's the Greek one?
Odyssey.
Odyssey. Fuck me, it's been so long since I
How dare
played
you
it.
not remember?
I know,
I'm only
it's late,
joking.
dude. Um, but yeah, no, that sold it for me. I was like, oh, they finally put it back in. Thank God. It needed it. I feel like a stealth game without that just doesn't really make sense for AC anymore.
Yeah, it's a bit of a chore, I will say.
Yeah, I'm
Without it,
hoping there is still some RPG elements to it, to be honest, because the combat looked a bit more soulsy to me as well.
I think it was a bit
There's
more
a bit more, there's
fundamental
a
to
bit more of
the.
a parrying element to it,
Yep, yep. Which the
where
original game
assassinations
had.
are all one-hit kills now, which is brilliant.
Great. Yeah.
Finally,
Also, like you say, Jay. Well, I assume you like the look of the game.
yes.
Good. Good.
I'm still a bit skeptical about the story. So that
Uh,
woman's voice doesn't sit right with me. Everyone's like going on about how amazing her voice is. Like, there's two voice actors right now that are starting to get on my tits. Hers, I guess this is her first game, so it's fine. But it's like it's such a raspy like
you must have heard it
voice.
before. You
I
surely
definitely
recognise
have,
it.
but I avoided it like the fucking plague.
Aha,
And then also the guy who's in Final Fantasy and Diablo right now with like
Clive.
basically the male version of that voice, and it's kind of like Jesus Christ, like it's so grating.
Sure.
It's like nails on a chalkboard to me. I'm honestly, it's funny. We'll talk about Final Fantasy. I need to talk about it, but it's so bad.
What
I
do
have
you
some
mean?
things to say. I'll come back to Final Fantasy with
What do
this
you mean?
point later. What do you mean? What do I mean?
I thought we talked about Final Fantasy.
I guess I have more to talk about. I'll talk about it now. Fuck it.
Yeah.
The English, they made this game where all the original dialogue and all the original voice acting is in English, and then they translated it to Japanese. It's the first time they've ever gone the other way round. It's always every
Because
Final
they were
Fantasy
English
before this.
actors,
Well, no, it's more. I guess that's probably part of it. Is that the whole thing is set in like an England type area.
which is
But this is
cool.
the first time ever that Final Fantasy has been recorded in English first and then Japanese. Because
So
what
why
happened
is
is,
that?
so I don't know, probably because of the reason you said, but the guy who plays Clive, his name is Ben Starr. He's a famous British actor, fairly well spoken. He's got an amazing voice, clearly. He's sort of like blown up over the last week or two because they've obviously started doing press for the game.
Yeah, sure. I
And
saw
he
that.
is sort of like people are like looking into what he's done previously, and it's kind of like people are like going crazy because he's actually like a really hardcore Final Fantasy fan. Like he knows everything there is to know about Final Fantasy.
That's so cool.
So it kind of makes it even more insane about him being this character.
That's so
Um,
cool.
but yeah, I'm annoyed because of that other guy's voice. I kind of want to play it in the Japanese um, dub, but because of Clive's voice, I want to play it in English. So it's kind of like fuck. I think I have to put up with this other guy's voice just so I
But would you
can
not
listen to
argue, Jay,
Clive.
that because they recorded it in English, that is actually almost the original language for
Yes,
this
it
game?
is.
Yeah.
Technically, it is. Yes, I think I will. I will still play it in English because I've obviously put up with this guy's voice in Diablo. So
Also, you played
I can.
FF15 in English, right?
Yes, I think I've played all Final Fantasy in English.
Do you know? I think I switched halfway through, and my god, the tones are so different.
They are, yeah. The Japanese tonally is usually a hell of a lot better.
Um,
They sell it a lot more, I've found, but
mm,
I don't know. I feel like they've done a pretty good job with the English on this one.
yeah, no fair.
Let me see. I
Very
know
good.
there was a bit of annoyance about they didn't translate the game for every language, or they didn't like do a dub for every language. They did it for like, oh no, it's not. They did it for Starfield, not for Final Fantasy. Yes, there's a bit of a problem with Starfield at the minute. They didn't do a Korean version of the game.
Okay.
So there's like a bit of a weird boycotty type thing going on in Korea, being like, fucking do voices for Korean.
I assume that's a normal expectation then.
Yeah, I feel like most games tend to do. I think it's because
A
there's
lot
so
of
much dialogue, they couldn't actually get around to doing it all.
maybe
Because apparently there's more dialogue in this than there is in Fallout 4 and Skyrim combined.
or something stupid like that.
Like it's
Yeah.
250, I think 250,000 lines of dialogue just in like a certain
Jesus
part of the game. It's like fuck me.
Christ.
So imagine trying to do that in every language, you know. Like you've got to hire all the people for that. That'd just be insane.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm surprised they didn't just do it in English.
I know.
Like doing it in any other language would just take fucking
I wouldn't
forever.
mind if the JRPG guys were
Honestly,
like,
it would
guys, it
make me
took too
laugh if
much
this game
work.
was only delayed because they needed to get more people to record the bloody foreign language for it.
Sure.
That'd be hilarious.
So, just going back, Jay, to Mirage for a second, then.
Please, yeah.
So, I really like the look of it. Actually, I think it looks. I thought it was going to be a broken pile of garbage, but it looks
Huh.
good.
I don't think. Well,
I just thought
I
it,
guess
I just thought
Valhalla
it
when
wouldn't
it
be
first went on
polished.
launch was bad. It was awful, but it's obviously 10 times better now.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this is a similar thing where it's just not gonna be bad on launch.
Yeah, and yeah, hopefully not broken. But I really did like the look of the game. You know, the location looks great. Obviously, the mechanics that they looked at, yeah, they definitely appealed to someone like me.
I say I'm still not sold on Basim yet. I need to have a reason to give a shit about him, you know.
Yeah, I think they'll give that. I think they'll give that.
Because I mean, he's technically on spoilers, but he's technically a villain right now, right?
Yes,
So I kind of want to know
at
how he
least the
became the
potential for a
villain.
villain. Yeah, for sure.
What made him? Because it's a classic human story of around long enough to see yourself become the villain type of
Right,
shit.
right, right.
You put up with enough crap, you're gonna become, a bit more meaner, a bit more evil, maybe a bit more like your version of justice is slightly skewed compared to the majority type situation.
But yeah,
Um,
I really like the look of the game. I think yeah, I think it looks really good. I mean, look, if I had the money, I probably would get it day one. I think that's how good it looks. But we'll see because it's not full price,
it's
so
cheap.
I
Yeah, I
am
was
a
gonna
bit
say it's cheaper,
skeptical on the
so that
price
made me
tag.
go
I'm
sweet.
thinking, is this a Miles Morales?
No,
Probably a
the
Miles
game is obviously
Morales.
a lot shorter. I
Um,
think the game's supposed to be 30 to 40, maybe
right,
less.
right. But I'm excited
Completionist is
for it,
probably closer to probably 40, I'd say.
and I think it'll be enjoyable. And we're getting another Assassin's Creed game, which is great. So
I feel like this is probably going to feel more
hopefully,
like Revelation or Brotherhood, probably.
yeah. But I mean, I think those two are quite fondly remembered. If I'm honest with you,
Yeah, exactly. So
bring them on.
I don't know. I just think I'm going to be a bit annoyed when I get to the end and I'm like, that was it?
Sure.
Because obviously I'm so used to Valhalla and Odyssey and Origins, where like 100 hours and you're not even close.
Oh, but dude, sometimes like that'll be refreshing. I think
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
No,
I think given I've played Diablo for almost 120 hours at this point, I feel like I'm.
I think it'll be refreshing for sure. I don't want
Uh,
another 200-hour Assassin's Creed just
I
yet.
wouldn't mind it.
Just yet.
Honest. I just kind of wish they'd do it in a different place.
They will. They always do.
I'm just trying to think where they haven't been yet. I mean, obviously the Tokyo, the bloody
But we know
Japanese
where
one is
they're
going to be
going now.
insane. Yeah, hopefully like the sort of Germany and Japan is the plan. I think.
But yeah, it looks good. I'm looking forward to it. So a good ender for them, for sure. Let's move on.
Please.
Last showcase, Summer Games Fest. Jay, I'll just quickly tell you my thoughts on SGF, if that's okay with you.
SGF,
I
yeah.
thought it was pretty rubbish.
Okay. Yeah,
I
it definitely was lacking.
I just don't care about half of these things, and I can appreciate, Jeff's got a lot of locks, he's got a lot of exclusives, he's got interesting
Yeah.
stuff in there, but there's just too much I don't care about, if I'm being honest with you.
I think it
So
was just a bad year for him in terms of just like things that he couldn't get that
well,
were already
again
given
though, a lot of
elsewhere,
people
potentially.
online, Jay, saying like, "Oh yeah, I thought SGF was like really good, like 4 out of 5." I'm like, are you guys on crack? Like, I just
Mm,
yes, there was 7 Rebirth there. Obviously, everyone wants to see that. Yeah, we got Spider-Man 2 date. Like
yeah.
that's
Well, I think Jeff is known for having certain people that they'll go to him first, and so we know that down the line we've got that to look forward to. Like I know, I mean, to be honest, it's hard to say. I feel like DS2 is probably going to be at next year's Game Fest. We're probably going to see gameplay there, hopefully, or something.
sure.
But we'll probably see Kojima's Xbox exclusive game on an Xbox showcase rather than a Jeff Keighley one, which Jeff's probably going to be hurt by.
Sure.
But yeah, it's possible. I don't know. We'll see where his loyalties lie, I guess.
Yeah, sure. So let's go through it then. So as mentioned, Jay, obviously the big one, right? The one that I care deeply about. I mean, arguably
What
more.
was that?
I mean, arguably more than Starfield, only because Starfield's an unknown entity. But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming
Oh,
apparently early 2024. We saw a lot of it. There was
I still
gameplay,
need to
there was
play bloody Intergrade.
CGI,
I'm pissed.
and apparently coming early next year. I don't know if I mean, it will be 4 years since the first part. So fair enough. They have the foundation, so maybe that will be reality. But man, oh man, it doesn't get better than this. It really doesn't.
Agreed.
Spider-Man
Again,
2
I'm
getting sorry, go on. I didn't
no
realize.
Final Fantasy VII stuff. It just isn't exciting me as much as it should be. But I tend to not get excited about a lot of stuff until like right before it comes out. I think I do that as like a defense mechanism at this point, is to not overhype myself before, because I know I'll
Sure,
run out of steam quicker than I want to.
sure.
Done that with Pokemon was definitely a perfect example of that. I ran out of steam like a week before the game came out. I was like, fuck, I've been following this thing for like 6 months. I'm done already.
Yeah, sure,
I don't want
sure.
to do that again. I'm not making that mistake again.
So, um,
I actually
interesting.
forgot we were recording a podcast just now. I literally just I clicked back in. All of a sudden. I was like, oh shit, we're actually not just chatting. Okay, cool.
I think that's a good thing, though,
That is a
right?
good thing. It's
Yeah,
extremely good.
cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool. Spider-Man 2, October 20th. Jay, what we
Yeah, I'm glad
saying?
it's not September. I'm glad they're giving Starfield at least a month and a half, 6 weeks, which is very decent. I'm very happy about that. That is ideal. I'm just trying to think. Well, I don't think
That
there's anything
game's
else coming out around that time,
huge.
is there?
That game is
October.
huge. I have so much to. Oh yeah, that game's gonna be
But I
massive.
think there's a lot more skepticism around Spider-Man 2 than most things.
How come?
Hmm.
Marvel.
No, just no. I think people just saw the showcase. It definitely didn't look graphically improved as much as people
I don't
would
know why
have
everyone keeps
liked.
going on about these graphics for. Like, what,
Well, I think
guys?
people just expect more out of the PS5. Like, they still haven't seen anything that's been like, wow,
I'll be honest, Jay. I think
Arguably, the Horizon has definitely done that. It's proven that
sure.
to an extent.
I think, Jay, that we are at a time whereby improvements in graphics comes over time rather than anything else.
Yeah,
Like,
someone said something recently about it might have been a game dev or like a famous someone in the game community. He was like, expect to see 30 frames for the foreseeable future. It's not, it's not gonna we're not gonna see 60 as often as you'd like. Just get used to it, kind of thing.
mm-hmm.
Just because I think at the moment we're at the part in game development where the ambition is actually more than the current system. So that you basically have there's like a level, isn't there? Like where the amount that the game can do and look like versus what the system can do is like this at the minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to bring it down here to where the system can handle it properly at 60 frames, you then have to lower the ambition of the game, and the game becomes lesser than,
Sure.
which is probably why most smaller games probably you can play at 60
Sure.
because they're not as ambitious. They're not pushing the envelope, as it were.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
like your Starfields. Like Starfield is asking, dude.
But look, at the end of the day, Jay, the PS4 had a game like The Last of Us Part 2 on it. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, but I wouldn't exactly say like looking back on it, Last of Us Part Two didn't exactly like, you know,
I'm going to have to severely
it didn't
disagree
like
with you
it
there.
didn't it didn't make you think, oh, this is what the PS4 can do. Cool. Like
I
that didn't.
I I think it did.
I don't think that's even
I
close.
think oh yeah,
I don't
for
even think God
sure.
of War does that, to be honest.
We're
I'm
going to
trying
have
to
to
think.
move on
Maybe
before I
Horizon might be the closest thing that I can
Horizon
think
is a
of
good
that
looking
makes
game.
me think, oh, the PS5 can get away with that. Fuck yeah. But when I think of other games, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm trying to think what that is for Xbox as well. Like, what is an Xbox game that makes me think, wow, the Xbox can actually pull that off? I can't really think of one, but I can barely think of one for PlayStation, to be honest. I don't think Last of Us counts, but I mean, to each their own, I guess. I'm trying to think what else, I think Senua maybe for Xbox used to be
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
answer to that, but then obviously Senua's a lot older than you think, so.
We also got Jay Mortal Kombat 1 stuff.
Yes. I was excited about it more than I thought I would be initially, but now I'm starting to like diminish a little bit. Kind of like, I mean, actually, weirdly, that's something I should have brought up. I've been watching a lot of Street Fighter 6 content recently. Starting to get a bit of FOMO for that as well. I almost bought it as well. I was like, oh, it's just too expensive. I can't justify the bloody 80 quid. It's just not in my in my current budget right now, and I'm pissed off about it. And plus, I have to bloody pay for PlayStation Plus to play it online as well, so that doesn't help. It's bloody annoying. Are you there?
Yep. Just letting you,
Okay,
Um.
let me get it out there. But yeah, no, I was super close. I definitely still want to play 6, but it just requires too much out of me at the minute.
Oh yeah,
Takes
we
a
didn't
lot of
really talk about
focus.
Jay about the reception of 6. To be fair,
The what?
reception of 6 coming out.
Oh, Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Been pretty good. I think it sold a decent amount,
I was
honestly.
kind of hoping the story thing would be better, but there we are.
I think it's actually Capcom's best selling Street Fighter so far.
Oh really?
I could be wrong.
Okay.
Could be
Also, Jay, we were talking about Mortal Kombat 1. Do you think it looks good?
Yeah, I think I'll be following it fairly religiously when it comes out.
Cool.
I just think it's coming out in a fairly not the best time window, I guess. But it just depends. I don't know. I feel like people have really struggled to get their games out in the right time frame this year.
No, fair
I feel like
enough.
so many of these games could have come out now, and it would have been infinitely better. But it's hard to say. I know I'm pretty sure we're getting Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, and Mortal Kombat all within like 10 to 12 months of each other. So Street Fighter 6 comes out beginning of June. Mortal
Crikey.
Kombat comes out September, and then I'm pretty sure Tekken 8 comes out beginning of next year. So
Groovy.
it's all sort of like that tends to happen quite a lot actually with fighting games. They all come out of the. It's annoying because all the game devs for those games are like super friendly with each other, but they must be pissed that all their games are coming out so close to each other.
Yeah, it can't be ideal for
They're
sure.
like, guys, come on, give us a year or two.
Give us a break.
Yeah, just that's funny. All yeah. The thing is, that's not going to change. I don't think because they all make. It takes about the same amount of time to make each of those games. Although this is the longest that NetherRealm have taken to make a Mortal Kombat game. So I have to see what the improvements are. So a lot of people are saying it basically looks like the same game, but they've made it feel more like a Marvel vs. Capcom game because they've added like assist buttons essentially,
Sure.
which is interesting. I'm interested to see what people get away with. I just don't know. I think Street Fighter 6 genuinely might interfere with Mortal Kombat. I don't think people are going to enjoy it as much as they would have liked to because 6 is already out. I don't know. Hard to say. People have juggled many fighting games before, so we'll see what happens.
Fortnite Wilds reveals Transformer crossover.
Jesus.
Ugh.
Yeah, gross. Get out.
Sonic Superstars new 2D classic Sonic game coming later this year, apparently.
Yeah, the people like genuinely gasped when that came on screen.
All right,
You could
chill
hear
out.
the audience, and everyone was like, "Oh shit!"
Jesus.
They all went because people just weren't expecting it at all.
Oh my god. Okay, fair enough.
Whenever so I don't know. Whenever you get a new Mario game or a new Zelda or a new
Sonic.
Sega game, Sonic, people just go nuts for it. Because there is a very niche community for it, but they are so starved of content that any little thing they get, they're like, oh shit, finally, you know.
Yes. Again, we talked about Jay and me now. I've been talking about a lot. Alan Wake 2 got huge gameplay. Now, in terms of graphics, Jay, I think this game looks absolutely phenomenal. Elle was super impressed by the graphics as well, and I also think that the game, I think they've they've done really well in going the survival horror route, and I don't want to cheese off what they're trying to do, but ultimately, I do think it's tapping into that Resident Evil 2 and 4 remake vibe and gameplay, and I think it's all the better for it. I think the game looks great, and Remedy have been on the ball, to be fair.
Sure. I don't think a lot of people realize, but there was like some like IRL content for Alan Wake around when Control was being marketed.
Yeah, yeah.
That involved a character that is in this game but is played by a different actress, and people are like, "What's going on?"
Interesting.
I guess the main concern. I don't think people were like complaining about it necessarily. It definitely seems to be a kind of like who gives a shit type thing. But it was played by obviously someone with a different skin color, so people are like, ESG at play maybe, but I don't know.
So okay.
I didn't really find it too much of an issue, but
sure,
it's whatever. It's just I think it's one of those things where the actress didn't fit the game role, but fit the acting role. If that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like games take on a little bit extra. There's something a little bit different that you need there. Like you can't just because you're an actor doesn't mean you can be in a video game. Unless you're Kojima, then you can hire many actors to be in your video game. I can't actually wait to play DS2 because he's got Elle Fanning in there. I'm a fan of her.
We also got Like a Dragon Gaiden, more Yakuza games, Jay.
Yeah, I still need to go back and finish that. That's a super fun game.
We also got Star Trek Infinite announced, coming from Paradox.
Yeah, what was that? That was interesting.
Strategy game.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Because we got the Dune thing. They showed off Dune as well, didn't they? Oh no, the Dune thing was
Flight Simulator.
Simulator. Yeah, I'm getting that mixed up.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
And we also got John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, which is
Jesus
interesting.
Christ, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah,
John Carpenter's starting to lose touch with modern shit at the minute.
that
He
didn't
was in
look
an
great.
interview recently talking about that new term for that elevated horror or whatever it is.
Oh right, okay.
And John Carpenter's answer was he said, "What's elevated horror?" He had no idea what it was. And the person interviewing him basically said, "Oh, it's horror, but makes you think a bit more philosophically about certain things." And then he mentioned like Midsommar and another movie, and he was like, "I don't know what either of those movies are."
Really?
And to hear that from John Carpenter, the Godfather of horror, it kind of made me go, "Oh God, like does he not like the new horror movies?
Oh gosh.
Is he like a bit anti new horror movie?" Like it made me think, "Oh God." But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one.
And we also got a Dragon Ball sort of game,
Yeah, what was
Sandlands.
that? It's weird because I think it's based off of a anime made by the same creator of Dragon Ball. Because when
Right.
I first saw it, I thought, "Oh, it's Dragon Quest," but because it has basically the same sort of style. But no, it's actually a novel, I think, a graphic novel type thing done by like I say, the creator of Dragon Ball. So I'll be interested to see what they do with that one. If it will actually interest anybody, I'm not sure.
Very good. Very
Yeah,
good. We got Power World, which is Pokemon with guns, apparently.
yeah, people had a good laugh at that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Rightfully
That
so.
was fairly
Lord of the
interesting.
Rings Return to Moria looks like some sort of Minecrafty game.
Yeah,
Jay.
it's annoying because all the people who now own Lord of the Rings is what the same people who own Saints Row. I forgot. Embracer Group, is that what they are?
Oh, they own the video game rights, do they?
Yeah, they own the video game rights now, and they're just trying to pump out as much as they can with it. But because they're trying to get as much out, it's all low quality shit.
Great.
So yeah, when I'm not looking forward to anything video game wise. Let's put it this way: we will. What's that? What Lord of the Rings game you like? Shadows of something.
Shadow of Mordor, yeah.
We're never going to get anything close to that ever again. Can almost guarantee you. Until they lose the rights to it, we're not going to get anything close.
Great.
And if we do, it'll be a fucking miracle. It's all gonna be bullshit now. It's all gonna
And
be
Jay, one of the
awful
most
bullshit.
intriguing games still, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis getting a closed beta July 6th.
Oh right, Ever Crisis. Yeah, I was trying to think what the fuck you on about then. I was like, what are you on about? Yeah, no, that'll be good to see what they do with that. I guess.
Yeah, I'm super intrigued
Again,
to
it's
see what
Final
this game
Fantasy,
is.
but there's too much. I just want to focus on one thing at a time. I can't be thinking about FS7 at this point. It's one thing
Understandable.
at a time.
Understandable.
It's just this
Another
fucking
game from
brain.
Don't Nod, Jay. Banishes Ghosts of New Eden, a new action RPG from the creators of
I don't know.
Vampire.
Oh really? What are they making?
Banishes Ghosts of New Eden.
Oh, I need to look this up.
Yeah, you
No.
do. I think you'll like it. I think it looks good personally.
Did I see this?
I think so. We've seen it before
Banishes Ghost of
somewhere.
New
We've seen it
Eden.
before somewhere.
I haven't seen this. Why have I not seen this?
I think you should look it up.
I'm now looking. I'm confused.
We also got the reveal
Have
of
I seen
Jason
this?
Isaacs in Baldur's Gate 3, which is awesome. Hello, Jason Isaacs. If you know, you know.
This
And
might be right up my alley. If Vampire goes behind this might be fucking awesome.
Twisted Metal debuts on Peacock July 27th and looks terrible. Marvel Snap getting a new competitive mode.
Yeah.
New season for Modern Warfare 2. Path of Exile
I'm not sure about
2.
that.
Exo Primal getting a this is all the shit I don't care about. And Liza P gets the
Yeah. Get
demo.
it out of the way. Get it out of the way.
Netflix season 3
You know what's funny
trailer.
about Eliza P?
Go
Um, so they've already modded it. Someone already uh, modded it to be like Bloodborne on PC.
on. Ah, cool.
So they've basically made Bloodborne on PC, but through Liza P. It's quite funny.
Also, Something that me and Will was really cool about Space Marine 2 reveals co-op, and literally on the bit on the trailer where you see him sounding them, like, wouldn't that be awesome if you see like another two Marines come on? And then they did, and it was awesome. So yeah, can't wait to play that with Will.
Sweet.
That's gonna be great. Nicolas Cage coming to Dead by Daylight, sure. Yes, Your Grace sequel announced, sure. If you like that. Witchfire comes to early access in September, sure. Remnant 2 gets a release date, sure. This just goes on and on and on. Under the Waves gets August release date. Looks interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Black Desert Online expansion. Honkai Star Rail gets a PS5 release window.
Yeah, that's annoying because I've completely stopped playing that game now.
Have
I
you? I
played
meant
that
to
game
ask you
every
about
day
that.
for about 50 days in a row, and then I just stopped because Diablo. I just haven't got the time.
Ah, fair enough.
Just haven't got the time. I've actually deleted all my mobile games apart from one,
Ooh.
so I just haven't got the time.
Listvanger Time Shift Warrior new hack and slash game.
Mm-hmm.
Throne and Liberty gets a new MMO. Oh, Jesus Christ, I don't care about any of these things. Pie Animals gets a release date September 20th. That's cool. And Xbox and Porsche got some consoles together. And that's it. That is it.
Okay.
Last few stories, Jay, because I need to go to bed, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Outriders dev working on a new game, baby. People Can Fly, according
Oh yeah,
to
yeah.
this thing you put in.
I
According
haven't seen
to
anything of it, but
financial Polish
yeah,
site Interior Business. Go on, sorry.
yeah. I haven't seen anything of it. I just saw the article and thought you might enjoy that. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be interested to see what they do. You know, I think
Yeah.
out no Outriders will be interesting for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Blizzard nerfs Diablo 4's best dungeons to farm XP and loot. Apparently,
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier.
got you. Okay. FS16 will have a day one patch, despite Square Enix suggesting otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was interesting. I guess that's probably what the demo was for, practically.
Ah, okay.
It was just to see, you know, what was going on.
And last but not least, Jay, of course, speaking to Easy Allies, a Ubisoft spokesperson mentioned that this map for Mirage will be a bit more like Constantinople from Revelations or
Yeah,
Paris in
told you.
Unity, which is
Told
music
you.
to my ears. Absolute
Yeah, I
music
really
to
enjoyed
my ears.
Unity. Sort of like reignited my fire for playing AC again. So I'm kind of yeah. If that can do that, then hopefully this can have a similar effect. I guess
Yep,
that would be ideal.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Hello, Mario. There's so much to talk about in there. I'm sure. So the second we get off this podcast, and we're like, fuck.
It's a big podcast. And that's it, Jay. That's it for this week.
Okay.
How you doing?
I'm holding on.
Good.
I'm almost level.
That's
60.
everything,
So
Jay.
close.
So what's your overall review of non E3 E3 this year?
93.3. Lackluster.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think had its ups, had its downs. Just doesn't feel special. I feel like previous years have felt special. That year they had Keanu come out and talk about Cyberpunk. That felt special.
Okay.
Although I'm sure if I look back on it, it was probably shit as well.
No, I could use and bad. I agree with you, Jay. I think we've got some updates, but
Just trying to think. I mean, we didn't talk about the Nick Cage thing. Remember Nick Cage?
I mentioned it. Sorry. Yeah, he came out. He's in Dead
I
by
didn't hear you
Daylight.
say it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I think the
He went
stand.
and visited Kojima as well. Kojima Productions. I
Oh.
saw on his Instagram.
I think the standout for me, Jay, is obviously Starfield, and I'm happy with just that if we get that from this E3, non E3. So
Yeah, it's Senua and Starfield.
and so anyway, yeah. So plenty to look forward to, as always.
Yeah,
Thank you for your time, Jay. Any last thoughts, words, concerns, doubts, fears?
Next time we talk, I'll have played Final Fantasy 16.
Holy shit.
Hopefully, I'll have a platinumed. Yeah, the trophy list for it came out. I haven't read it properly yet, but I've briefly looked at it, and it looks more doable than 13.
But less doable than 15?
I didn't look at it that long to really
Okay,
think
all right.
about that, but
I thought 15 was
I'll what I'll do
marvelous
is
actually.
I'll read it at some point in the next couple of days properly, and then because I'm almost like this morning I felt to myself, oh, I need to start like getting a bit more involved in preparing for the game, at least at least a little bit. Um, but I don't know how much I can sort of do other than just sort of looking at the trophy list at the minute, because there is going to be a guide for it on PowerPix, so I'll have to follow that as best I can.
Sure.
Which basically means they're playing it right now as we speak. Someone is playing it
Whoa.
because they obviously have the review copies. There's no way they don't.
Sure.
What day is it today? 20th, and it comes out on the 22nd.
So
So
embargo probably goes up 21st, maybe tomorrow.
yeah, it'll be in the next couple of days, definitely.
Crikey. Okay.
Yeah, I'm also debating on whether I want to look at the reviews or not. I
I
might
don't
just
think I
wait.
do. I think I'm sold. I don't think that'll be a bad game.
Well, I don't look at reviews to see whether I want to buy it necessarily. I sort of I look at reviews more to be
For
like,
research.
well, yeah. So it's more just to see like what the vibe is like. What are the people who review these things for a living think? But you know, IGN is a funny old place.
It is.
I honestly don't know what review I could read that makes me go. The only reviews I can really give a shit about are from YouTubers, honestly.
And I
Like
think that's why they're so popular now.
Maximilian or Matty
You know.
Plays or Skill Up
Yep.
or like any of those ones. Oh, actually, that reminds me. Kind of funny, and Skill Up have both done a podcast with Ben Starr, the guy who plays Clive in
I
Final
saw
Fantasy
that.
16.
Yeah.
I'm halfway through the Skill Up one, and I'm about to start the Kind of Funny one. So
Cool.
that'll be interesting to see what
I'll
they're
probably
like.
listen to them after I finish the game. I think just because I'm like that.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair, I guess.
Alrighty. Thanks for your time, Jay.
I
Have fun with Diablo and Final Fantasy, but I'm sure I'll speak to you anyway.
Dude, I'm so close to 60 right now. I'm so close. I'm just debating on whether I want to stay up and try to get there or just, go to bed.
We will see you all later.
I.
Have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Be safe. Don't be a D. Bye.
Don't be a stranger.
Don't be a stranger.
Bye.